Okay, hello everyone. Good morning. I figured I'd get started a few minutes early as we are awaiting the launch window opening for NS-24. This will be Blue Origin's 24th mission. Unfortunately, it was scrubbed yesterday. First, it was delayed due to cold temperatures, and then they ultimately scrubbed it due to some ground system issues. But they are right back up and running again. So they're going to try again for this morning, with the launch window being a little bit later in the day. Hopefully, the temperatures that they are looking for. I'm wearing my James Webb Space Telescope earrings today and feeling very festive. And I just wanted to talk about the importance of the mission today. Number one, we haven't seen anything from Blue Origin in a while. And that is because of an anomaly that they suffered in September of 2022. So I'm going to play that video for you and we'll talk about exactly what happened. But, you know, if you look at SpaceX compared to Blue Origin, pretty crazy to see how little has been going on for Blue. But hopefully things go well today. I was surprised recently. I know probably a lot of you guys watched the Lex Friedman podcast. And Jeff Bezos was interviewed. And he, I think, gave Lex a tour of the New Glenn facility. So I think that might mean that, he's ready to be in the public eye again. I'm not sure, but I was surprised to see that interview. And it's always interesting to listen to these space billionaires, as people know them as. But thank you for joining me, Stephen. Thank you for sharing the live stream. I know that a couple of the space tubers are going to be streaming this morning, including Angry Astronaut. So I wanted to get started early enough to at least spend a few minutes with you. But I will be playing. Let's see here. Actually, let me share the screen because it looks like some of their video is starting for the NS-24 webcast here.
And all its beauty is just our starting place.
It's time.
5, 4, minute start, 2, 1.
Oh yeah, look at her go!
5,000 feet and climbing.
We're doing it!
Now is the time to open the promise of space to all and lay the way for generations to come.
I think it's funny how many people make fun of these suborbital hops. They're like trying to really promote this. A lot of people think it's not that cool.
When they reflect on where it started.
So I'm going to turn it down for a second. This is one of the problems that I have with sharing these streams, is that I don't know how much of their version you want to listen to versus my commentary. But I do want to point out the fact that, with them starting back up today, Moondow is actually auctioning off a ride on a Blue Origin New Shepard rocket. They're aiming for February, I think. And they already sent one person to space on one of these rides. That was Kobe Cotton. And he is a very big YouTuber. He was able to win one of the seats. The other seat was won by a man in China. And after over a year of trying to get him here, unfortunately, they were not able to make it work. Not very surprising there, right? But that seat is going to be re-raffled, and Moondow just reopened that. So if you are really into Blue Origin and the idea of taking a ride on New Shepard, remember, this is a $250,000 value for the ticket. It's funny. Ohio Pat says, can you trade in a 0G ticket for a ride? I don't think so. But I will mention too that I still haven't gone on the 0G flight. I won that in May or June, and that was supposed to be in October. They had to cancel it or postpone it 2 days before. So it's supposed to now be in February out of Orlando. So Yes, still haven't done that yet, but I will be sure to let you know how that goes. And while they're doing a little bit of pregame right now, I do want to share this video. Thank you, Kyle, for saying you'd rather listen to my commentary. So let's talk about, in case you don't remember what happened with NS-23. This was a big deal. This pushed them back, held them back a lot. So
Mission control confirms.
So this is some video of NS-23, and Blue Origin, several months actually after this happened, revealed the cause of this rocket launch failure. So you're going to start to see it in a second now. This was thankfully an uncrewed mission. However, some people say if it was crewed, that crew would have been safe because things worked as they should have. But this was the 23rd flight of Blue Origin's New Shepard suborbital vehicle. Liftoff from the West Texas launch site, which I would like to get media credentials too for the next launch. I don't know if they issue those. Anyway, this was September 12th, 2022, carrying 36 scientific payloads skyward. And something went wrong about 65 seconds. So hold on here, right here. Yeah, something's going wrong. Can you tell? 65 seconds into the flight, resulting in the loss of New Shepard's reusable first stage booster. The vehicle's capsule managed to launch itself away from trouble, and it landed safely under parachutes, which is what it's designed to do. Nobody was hurt, no buildings or property was damaged. But keep in mind, this led to a 6-month investigation. Blue Origin was able to find the cause of this anomaly. The nozzle on the booster's single BE-3PM engine suffered structural fatigue failure, which caused a thrust misalignment, and this triggered the capsule's emergency escape system. And, they only announced this 6 months later. So the structural fatigue, in case you're curious, was caused by operational temperatures that exceeded the expected and analyzed values of the nozzle material. Quote from Blue Origin, testing of the BE-3PM engine began immediately following the mishap and established that the flight configuration of the nozzle operated at hotter temperatures than previous design configurations. So obviously, Blue Origin has been working on this behind the scenes. In fact, it's probably a good thing. It probably means that their rockets are way safer now than they were before. But this has held them back for a while. Some of the steps that they took to solve this problem, they reduced the engine nozzle bulk and hot streak temperatures. Additional design changes to the nozzle have improved structural performance under thermal and dynamic loads. So, it's good that they hopefully have been able to figure this out, but it really just shows you the difference in values and or maybe strategy, theory between SpaceX and Blue Origin. Because SpaceX obviously had a ton of issues with the first Starship launch, and they were back to launching in a much, shorter time frame than Blue Origin between the last flight until now. So let's see. Thank you guys for tuning in. Wow, a lot more of you guys are here right now. So anyway, they're talking about they're still doing some intros at the desk right now on the feed for Blue Origin. I will pull that in soon. But yeah, I just thought that this was hello from London. Hello to David. I thought that this was worth streaming because they haven't been able to launch in a while. And, we thought that we would maybe have a Christmas launch for ULA's Vulcan rocket. That has slipped until no earlier than January 8th. So ULA's Vulcan will not share the same anniversary as the James Webb Space Telescope. I'm sure you guys remember that Christmas present. But yes, the red shirt wants to know, I haven't followed Blue Origin that much. Have they launched a sat to space yet? Pretty sure they recently sent 2 prototypes on a different rocket. So and if you guys remember too, Blue Origin finally, I guess, caved, if you want to call it that, and they will be launching their Project Kuiper satellites. So this is the competitor to Starlink, they're going to be using 3 Falcon 9s. So, Elon had no issue with this. It was a matter of Jeff kind of swallowing the pride, maybe, and using SpaceX. It will be interesting to see how Project Kuiper actually rolls out and how many people adopt Project Kuiper if they want to ditch Starlink. Maybe they're already well integrated into the Amazon ecosystem and they'd rather use Project Kuiper. But that as soon as they release, I will be ordering a Project Kuiper dish to do some testing. And on that note, I'm actually getting the next generation Starlink any day now. Paid the money and it's shipping sometime. So very excited to show you guys what's going on there. But I'm going to go back to the stream. So this is the current stream. As you can see, less than 11 minutes until the launch. So the fact that they're live streaming today is a good sign. They did not pull up the stream yesterday at all. So you knew that there was problems. And thank you, Ross, fact checker. He says ULA launched the 2 Kuiper sats on an Atlas V. So that's what I thought. But thank you for double checking. Also, you should note that if you ordered a t-shirt from my store, those are shipping out today. This is from Scott Carr. He is the person involved and in charge of that. Scott has been very gracious in creating these designs for my Ellie in Space channel and really helping me out to create actually quality t-shirts. For a long time, I was using a site called Teespring, but their shirts are not nearly as nice. Scott has great quality shirts. And some of you guys, thank you for the $20 super chat to remind you guys that the t-shirts and hoodies are shipping out today and tomorrow. So having, a shirt that does not wash off or, start to deteriorate after 3 washes is a big deal. And Bimmer Geezer, I know that he has several of the shirts and he really likes them. So I think that you guys who do end up ordering those shirts really enjoy them. Backfire says they are in a hold right now. So let me go to their stream and put on some sound.
And see their solar cells in person. They're not just talking about this technology, they're really demonstrating. They're taking the lunar regolith, breaking it apart into its elements, purifying those elements, and building actual working solar cells. The energy in the lab is palpable.
Absolutely. It's really cool to be able to see us taking advantage of those in situ resource utilization, the resources of space. And this group is focused on how we do that for the benefit of Earth, as well as how we support sustainable missions to the moon with the potential to revolutionize how we produce power and materials on Earth.
Now, while we were learning about our space resources program, Mission Control did enter a hold, so we'll pause here and check in on the rocket at the launch pad.
Yeah, cue the elevator music. Doesn't sound like this was a planned hold. I know that we have a lot of those at times, depending on the launch. Let me bring up the details of what the payload is today, because we had a question about that.
Now, Erica, it looks like Mission Control has cleared the hold and the countdown timer is continuing its
great
countdown to our T0 time. We're going to pause here and await controls.
Okay, we're going to pause. So back to me talking. I'm telling you, I wish that I could help announce for one of these things. I feel like so many times the announcers don't have any energy, or they're just, I don't know, very buttoned up, whatever. But we had a question about what the mission objectives are for today. Crunch to Grace Hopper is done with the BO hype, but we're still going to watch it because it's a rocket launch. NS-24 will carry 33 research payloads, so actually 3 shy of the last mission. And more than half of these payloads were developed and flown with support from NASA. So I'm going to click on their mission description here. And Part of the payload will include 38,000 Club for the Future postcards from students around the world. So that's pretty cool. You guys probably don't remember or know, maybe you don't know at all. I was able to tour Blue Origin when I was in Florida. Now, they only let me film the lobby, and I actually have a video of that somewhere on my page. But they showed us, the whole facility pretty much. And they were collecting postcards at that time. You could design your own postcard. What do you want to say? They had some prompts. And so I'm thinking this must have been a part of that, because now they have 38,000 postcards from students around the world that are on this mission today. Thank you so much. $50. Wow. Bimmer thank you so much. You love my shirts. And when you wear them, they are a great conversation starter with strangers. I'm sure that people ask, what does FUD and what does RUD mean? Because that was actually one of my contributions to the design, was to say no FUD and no RUD for Starship. So I helped design the t-shirt to some degree. So Ross makes a good point. Suborbital flights like this allow for microgravity experience that lasts nearly 10 times longer than a zero-G flight. So pretty significant. And interesting. So Hendrik, I did not realize this, if this is true. The payload is the same as last time it survived the anomaly. I guess that would make sense. The red shirt says, I thought you would have done this for SpaceX by now. They have not invited me to host a live stream. However, I think I need more of these under my belt. I'm getting more comfortable every time I do them. But believe it or not, I'm not always comfortable talking on camera by myself. So let's see here. So we have less than 7 minutes. And let's see, was there anything else that I wanted to say? So this is New Shepard's 24th flight, like I mentioned, the 13th payload mission. The program has also completed 6 astronaut missions and flown 31 humans above the Kármán line, which some of you guys actually in the comments have dissed and said is not that cool. From an environmental standpoint, nearly 99% of New Shepard's dry mass is reused, including the booster, capsule, engine, landing gear, and parachutes. New Shepard's engine is fueled by highly efficient liquid oxygen and hydrogen. During flight, the only byproduct is water vapor with no carbon emissions. So thank you guys for saying that I'm doing great on the live stream. No, this is not the launch. They are showing us one of those suborbital hops. Michael Strahan, Wally Funk, Jeff Bezos and his brother, all these people have been able to, well, I say all, actually not a lot of people have been able to do this, but they are adding to the list. Right there is Kobe Cotton. He is the YouTuber that actually won a seat on one of these flights. And yes, Alan says, part of my discomfort may be because you're engineering and directing at the same time. Yes, I am a one-man band. That surprises a lot of people, but it is just me. But thank you for the support, and I will keep doing these. I feel like you guys also kind of carry me in the audience. You guys are able to fact check things, and I'm constantly reading the comments as well because I want to include you in the conversation. This may seem like a live stream where I'm up here alone, but in fact, I am never alone in these live streams because you guys are always commenting, and I read the comments. Yes, so Captain Kirk, great point there. William Shatner, which it sounds like the flight really had a profound impact on his life more than anyone else, really, who has talked about it publicly, and almost like I think a very depressing effect on William Shatner. I have been trying to interview him now for, 2 years. And one time his assistant did answer my email. They said he was just too busy at this time. But I don't know if you guys watched that flight. It seemed like after, Jeff Bezos was kind of dismissive, and it seemed to have a profound impact on William Shatner. So I would like to talk to him personally about his experience. I'm sure he still remembers it. But and yes, thank you. Audience interaction was one of my strengths as a broadcaster. I appreciate that. We're hearing maybe there's another hold, so let me go back to the sound on this. Would not surprise me, unfortunately. Okay, so hold. There is a hold. The clock has been paused. But hey, we've made it a lot further today than we did yesterday. One of the things that I also think is kind of, I don't know, in line with Blue Origin is that their comments are turned off. Let people do a live chat. Let people enjoy the webcast. I don't know why their comments are turned off. I think that's kind of like, ugh, I don't know, kind of annoying. It's like the same thing, SpaceX, Starbase, when you drive down there, you park on the side of the road. No big deal. In Blue Origin, they have all these blue cones set up on the side of the road. So like you can't even park on the side of the road and like look from the outside. It's just a very different SpaceX and Blue Origin are very different personalities. Okay. But thank you. Red Shirt is enjoying these live interactions. We are live. As you can see, I woke up not too long ago. That's a good point. William Shatner is much older than he looks. I would agree with that. And yeah, Blue Origin, BO, which I think is also kind of a funny acronym. They're very private and they do have a conservative approach to PR. But like I said, recently Jeff Bezos talked for multiple hours with Lex Friedman. So I was thinking to myself, man, he hasn't been interviewed in a while. And I think that maybe it's a good sign. Obviously, it's a good sign today that they are back for the first time in 15 months. So, but I think that if the same situation would have happened with SpaceX, I just can't imagine that they would have taken 15 months to, do the investigation and be back here today. But yes.
And Eric, I'm noticing that the hold has cleared, that countdown timer
Okay.
resuming its march to T0.
So we've got 2 holds.
What an exciting day for us today. Now, I'm told this is the 9th mission for this booster. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the most important things that's been happening in this new era of modern rocketry is that we've learned how to launch, land, and repeat. We've been able to take these boosters and to fly them over and over again. Now, traditional rockets, you'd fly them once and you'd throw them away. And that was both wasteful and not sustainable. It also
So one of the things that I talked about yesterday in my interview with Dr. Zubrin is this idea that someday soon we are going to have a used resale market for rockets, which is crazy to think about. And he also pointed out the fact that SpaceX and Blue Origin have been, doing this for the same amount of time. And it really just is crazy to see how much further SpaceX is along. SpaceX and reusable rockets, reusable boosters. I feel like they are the pioneers of that, but whatever. Blue Origin is also able to do that. So I'm going to bounce back and forth between listening to them and then commentating if they have anything to say. Wow, that's a very close-up view. Yes, Dr. Zubrin, if you have not listened to that interview, he was very spicy yesterday. And some of the topics of conversation I felt like got a little bit, off topic. So I tried my best to steer the ship and get us back on track. But it was a very good conversation for sure. I'm very, very grateful that he gives us time to talk. Yeah, don't sell the rockets to China. It's interesting. Dr. Zubrin was also talking about how China has 5 companies working to make their own version of a Falcon 9. And I'm sure they have a company working to make a Starship, copycat. So, yes, David says, looking forward to the apparent New Glenn launch in 2024. I hope you'll be doing a live stream. Not only do I want to do a live stream, but I really would like to get media credentials
All right, we have a great view of New Shepard sitting out on the pad, getting ready for launch. Next up in our countdown, we're going to be watching for the bit checks. These are built-in tests to help us make sure that all of our systems are ready to go for flight.
Okay.
We've got great visuals here of New Shepard on the pad. We'll get great audio as well through those built-in tests. And as we see them, we'll call them out.
Yeah, Eddie, the first thing we're going to be looking for is the aft fin checks. So if you look down there at the base of the booster, you can see those fins, those control surfaces that rotate to help direct the vehicle on ascent and descent.
A little bit like sticking your hand out the window while your car is driving. The air pushes against the aerodynamic surface, helping to control the vehicle.
There we go. We see the gantry pulling back. Now the booster is getting ready. We are used to seeing the gantry out there so we can do load in of our astronauts, our payloads. Again, no humans on board today, but everything ready to go. We're watching for those aft fin checks. You'll watch them rotate at the base of the vehicle.
Okay.
And there they go.
About a
moving
minute,
through the
almost.
full envelope of motion there.
I agree.
Great built-in test.
Any launch is good to watch, which is why we're all watching it right now. And thank you for over 460 of you hanging out with me right now. I know that some other people are streaming this. So
after those aft fins, we're going to be looking for the engine nozzle gimbaling. The engine gimbals or rotates to help maneuver the rocket as it flies, providing a thrust vector control. Meanwhile, we're keeping an eye on the pressure and temperature in the propellant tanks. Both of those sets of variables need to stay in the start box or the green zone for us to be ready to launch.
+6 on Twitch. Thank you guys on Twitch. I need to go back on Twitch and do some of my rants because I have stuff to rant.
Okay, we are at T-minus 30 seconds. It is time to hand it off to mission control.
Let's go.
Launch this rocket.
Let's go. Such a weird view. Do you guys agree? Is this the best view? Okay, I like that view. And yes, I am on Twitch as well.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Command engine start. 2, 1, 0. Ignition.
We have ignition of our BE-3 engine.
Oh, wow.
And liftoff. Mission control confirms that New Shepard has cleared the tower and is headed to space. You can see on the lower left side of your screen that we're gaining speed. As New Shepard gains altitude, the atmosphere gets thinner.
Wow.
The graph on the left shows vehicle ascent. Now, we actually started at about 3,700 feet MSL. That's how far above sea level we are at launch site 1.
How exciting, Erica. A great shot there of the PM, the propulsion module, moving away from Earth. That BE-3 engine providing 100% power level. And here shortly, we will approach XQ. This, again, is the point where aerodynamic stress on the vehicle is at its maximum.
Major milestone.
The BE-3 engine will throttle back for a little bit as we pierce through the atmosphere.
Yeah, the blowtorch is working. That's right. New Shepard is back. Let's get past that 105. Okay, we passed the 65-second mark. That was when the NS-23 had all sorts of problems. So it's looking good.
Now that we've passed max Q, BE-3 will begin to throttle back up to 100% power level. We'll see that velocity ticker on the left of your screen start to increase more rapidly as the air gets thinner. New Shepard is moving faster and faster.
Absolutely. You can also see that engine plume start to expand as we get into that thinner, high upper atmosphere.
We passed the previous failure point, and
such a cool shot there.
It's an odd-looking rocket. You guys know what people call it.
2 minutes of boost for the BE-3 engine before we reach the next stage of our mission, MECO, main engine cutoff. That will be the next milestone we'll see.
To orbit and beyond. Oh, wait. I'm telling you guys, like, people are so harsh on Blue Origin, including myself, but it's kind of sad. Like I did.
New Shepard continues to climb 145,000 feet.
Okay. Yeah, good practice for Blue Origin, even if it's suborbital. Yes.
There it is. Main engine cutoff just over 2,200 miles per hour. and soon vehicle separation.
Always love seeing us coast through MECO. Now, when the vehicles separate and the crew capsule from the booster, we're going to be entering that phase of microgravity. You can see that zero-G indicator at the bottom of your screen. This is really where most of our payloads are getting into the core of their science mission. Oh, what a fantastic view.
All sorts of cool experiments here enabled in microgravity, in free fall. Items don't sink or float. Hot air doesn't rise. Plants and cells respond to this novel stimulus with different patterns of gene expression, which gives us new insights for agricultural technologies and medicine.
And we talked earlier about the importance of fluid physics, because fluid flow on the ground dominated by gravity, the liquid at the bottom of your cup. But in space, it's dominated by surface tension, which leads to all sorts of cool effects with capillary action. And these effects are relevant for everything from drinking coffee to refueling satellites to the microfluidics in your medical diagnostics.
Incredible. And I'm sure the payloads are enjoying all of the clean, very clean microgravity data that they're collecting at this time.
The payloads are enjoying?
And loving that view back down on the clouds over West Texas.
What?
Now, if you watch that ticker on the lower left corner, you see we are slowly counting down in our velocity to 0. That's the vertical velocity of the system. And when we reach 0, that's when we've reached apogee.
So, yeah, so we're basically almost to that target. Almost to 0. I feel like I'm playing Kerbal Space.
And fantastic. Capsule pausing in its upward journey just momentarily. Apogee for the capsule at 351,247 feet, well into space and over the Kármán line. Fantastic mission for our payloads on board today.
And Erica, so now we've got both vehicles racing back down to Earth under the effect of gravity. The gumdrop shape here of the crew capsule will mean a slower return for the crew capsule, but there on the left, a great view of the propulsion module returning back to the West Texas desert.
I turned off your closed captioning, so sorry about that. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't go Kerbal. I have crashed one too many things in KSP. Yeah, one day Ellie in Space will go to space. You know, there is a chance that I ride on one of these.
So as we come back down and the atmosphere begins to get thicker again, we start to have the ability to use our aerodynamic control surfaces. What you'll be seeing next is the air brakes deploying. This is a critical step in slowing the vehicle down, increasing the surface area, just like a badminton shuttlecock or something that's helping you to come down through the upper atmosphere. We're going to see that the velocity decrease with those air brakes out.
In fact, the drag brakes should cut the velocity in about half. So we'll be looking for that. Picking up, hopefully with the cameras, the long-range cameras, and seeing those drag brakes deploy as the propulsion module cuts through the atmosphere.
Oh, yeah. They did say shuttlecock. I'm sorry. It's just the rocket's kind of phallic.
Those are the forward fins deploying there on the right. A great view looking up from the propulsion module into space and seeing those forward fins deploying.
Sorry, guys. I'm like a teenage guy in terms of my humor.
You can see the capsule passing by just there on the right-hand screen, well above the booster at this altitude.
What a great video shot. I love seeing this. Those are our experiments, our customers today getting their microgravity data in.
Very noticeably phallic. Oh, you think that the commentators are also making fun of Blue Origin? Where have you heard that?
So that booster coming in at about Mach 3, pulling at about 5 Gs as it re-enters the atmosphere. So we're going to be seeing that velocity decrease rapidly at this point.
You guys are feeling
This is one of my favorite parts of observing a mission from West Texas. Those are the drag brakes. There they are deployed. And we see those aft fins steering the booster over the landing pad.
Yes. This is the sci-fi part.
If you're in West Texas, you may be hearing a sonic boom coming up here.
I would have been.
Break through the sound barrier.
I would have been in West Texas if I.
PE3 engine relight, just 2,000 feet to go before the landing pad.
Landing gear deploying. Oh, love that shot. I can't tell you how many people have told us they thought that this looks like CGI, but indeed one of these most beautiful shots in the West Texas desert. We have booster touchdown.
Yeah,
Congratulations, New Shepard propulsion module and the BE3 engine.
Falcon Heavy
Just the
puts this
right
to shame
thrust to
for
come in
real.
for the nice hovering land.
And again, that's the 9th flight for this booster, really showing the operational reusability of this system and how many times we can get back to space.
Well, Erica, we've just safely landed the booster. Now we're about to watch the crew capsule make its final descent back to the West Texas desert. In parallel, the team will vent the propellants, any remaining propellants, from the propulsion module and begin safe recovery operations so that we can prepare it for its next mission.
I agree. The thrust vectoring hover is so cool. So good thing they waited until today.
No, these shots are incredible. We've got the Sierra Diablo Mountains in the background, some yuccas and some choyas, and of course, a world.
So you guys, my mission now is to get a media pass to cover this in person. I'm living in Texas, West Texas. I've actually driven near this site. It's not terribly far, maybe 6 or 7 hours. So yes, I will definitely try to do my best to cover one of these in person.
Oh, there we go. We've got main parachutes, 3 main parachutes on the crew capsule as it makes its descent back from space to Earth.
Those parachutes reefed when they're first let out.
So imagine just riding in one of these after your suborbital hop.
Down for the crew capsule.
I want to know how, like, I don't know, how harsh the impact is once you land.
Down, nice slow velocity, right around 1,600 feet. We're going to be looking for that retro thrust system as we get closer to the desert floor.
And Erica, this retro thrust system is effectively high pressure gas that is fired off to make a cushion of air, soft landing for the crew capsule, but it kicks up some dust.
They are the leader in amusement park space rides. That is what a lot of people criticize them for. I feel like it'd be very frustrating to work for Blue Origin. Just because people are like so
Such
mean.
gorgeous scenery, such a gorgeous crew capsule. And again, those parachutes doing their job, taking us down to just about 15 miles per hour. The retro thrust system will take us down to just 1 or 2 miles an hour as we.
Okay, I'm going to talk soon in a second. I think they're not going to be too much longer. Trust me, I have a lot to chat about. They keep cutting me off, but I don't know if you guys want to listen to their play-by-play. And crazy that all of this is
There it
happening.
is, touchdown for NS24 and our 33 customers and 38,000 postcards.
What a journey. Special thank you to all of our customers flying important science and education on board today, especially to all the students who designed and built experiments. Want to shout out to our friends out at MIT, the University of Central Florida, PS 185 in Brooklyn, AIAA, ASGSR, our sponsors at NASA. So many cool things going on board today. There on the capsule.
Yeah, no, you inspire us every day. Thank you for being our customers. If we could just do a quick recap here, Erica, it looked like a nominal boost for the propulsion module and crew capsule combined. Some hypergravity there for our payloads, and then a clean separation. Over 180 seconds of clean microgravity for our payload customers, and 2 vehicles appearing to land nominally here back in West Texas. I would call this the best day at work for me. This is awesome.
Always love launch days, Eddie. Just it brings a smile to everybody's face.
If what you saw here today inspired you, please come help us build a road to space. We have hundreds of positions open across all our facilities and have a particular need for machinists and programmers in Florida and Alabama. Please visit our website for more details.
And of course, if you'd like to purchase a seat on New Shepard, you can go to blueorigin.com, click the Fly to Space button in the upper right-hand corner. Following a thorough review of today's mission, we look forward to flying our next crewed flight soon.
Yeah.
My name is Erica Wagner. For Salt Flat Eddie and everybody here at Blue Origin, thanks for tuning in to New Shepard's 24th flight. Happy holidays and Gradatum Froster.
Okay, so they're looking for people to work for them. So that is something that you could be involved in if you wanted to. But so let me get this straight. People, pay $250,000 to ride on one of these, do the suborbital hop, and that's not cool in many people's eyes. And you're telling me that like 38,000 postcards just did the same thing? Is that it? I mean, is that what do you guys think of that? Does that strike you as really cool if you had one of your postcards on this flight, on this mission, or is that like whatever? I'm just curious what you guys think. I feel like I'm a little bit more real on my stream than some than some other space tubers. So yes, so Ross wants to know, is their next flight crewed? It sounds like it. I know that the Moondow folks are saying that they're looking at February for when they'll have the next crewed mission, and that's when one of their seats will be taken by whoever wins this raffle going on right now. Yeah, I was just as you know, I wanted to talk more about the fact that I feel bad about, people who work for Blue Origin because they just get so much hate. I did a video yesterday about the scrub, and so many people in the comments are like, Jeff who and all this stuff. So it must be hard. And I just realized someone sent me this a while back. I thought it was just a model, but apparently it's a flying model rocket replica, 1/66 scale. So I'll have to fly this sometime. Man, I could have flown this sooner than they actually launched again. So I know I could have done this in less than 15 months. So yeah, that was interesting. Lloyd says that if he was a real space enthusiast, he might want a postcard that went to space. Someone said that it would be better if their postcard went around the moon. For someone from NASA to read it. So I agree. So I don't know, maybe they're just trying to make something cool. They're trying to include, students, but people already like diss on the, the astronauts that go past the Kármán line on these flights. So I can't imagine it's that interesting. But thank you guys for tuning into the stream. I'm glad that you enjoyed the stream. And you know what? I think that the fact that I wore my James Webb Space Telescope earrings really helped in the luck of today. So if you guys really enjoyed this, I will be sure to do more live streams of the launches. I think it's a good way for me to just talk with you guys and rant a little bit. Ross asked earlier if I was going to go back to Florida for a launch anytime soon. The only trip that I have planned for Florida is in February when I will be doing my 0G flight out of Orlando. So hopefully that doesn't have any more issues because I just want to get it over with in like the best way possible. It's like, I just want to do it. But thank you guys for hanging out with me. I'm surprised that so many of you guys tuned in. I think we had peak over 600 people, which is crazy. And yeah, I will do more of these. So thank you guys for hanging out. Let's see, I know that, Starbase, for example, SpaceX was saying they wanted to have IFT-3, the third Starship test flight, in December, and I was thinking that didn't look likely, but I don't know. They're moving down there, so I think January is probably still more likely, but we'll see. I will let you guys know that I'm heading back to Portland to celebrate Christmas with my family, and then I'll actually be headed to New York City for New Year's Eve. I haven't been to New York City since I was 8 years old, so I'm sure it will be a very fun experience as an adult. And okay, we have some people saying that they want me to launch the model rocket. So it looks like I will have to page my good friend Joe Tagmeyer because I need his help, and he has a background in model rocketry. He's very good at that stuff. So I think it's just better with two people anyway to do a live stream. Trust me. But thank you guys so much for watching. And that is my update. Rolf says he thinks IFT-3 will still be in March. We shall see. Thank you for saying, Joshua, that I am the best channel out there. I think I provide my own unique spin to space coverage. There are a lot of amazing channels. Scott Manley, Tim Dodd, which, by the way, just to let you guys know too, I will be going to the Everyday Astronaut Astro Awards here in Austin, Texas, in person. So I'm going to be covering that event. I'm really looking forward to it. But seeing what Tim Dodd has been able to do with his channel is a major inspiration for me. I bet that he didn't imagine that he would be able to put on an in-person award show. His channel has just really, really skyrocketed. Get it? Okay. But it really is amazing to see if you just stick with your channel, stick with being consistent. That's one of the reasons I'm doing the SpaceX daily updates, is to be consistent. So I will get one of those out today, but it's my way to, provide you guys bite-sized news, and it seems like you guys are enjoying it. But, I really want to grow my channel, and so I'm trying to think of different strategies. So thank you guys for hanging out with me and, making my channel what it is as well, because it wouldn't be what it is without your participation, your views, your likes, your subscribes, all of that. So, wow, that's a pretty good compliment. I don't care for Tim's channel as much as yours. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I will not get an award at the Astro Awards, but a lot of people, I think maybe Jared Isaacman will be there, but a lot of people will be there in the space industry getting awards. And, I did ask Tim if I could cover this as media, and he said they weren't doing any media passes. So I did buy my way in. Actually, I had a very generous subscriber buy my way in. But so yeah, this is not an award for me. This is an awards ceremony, and it hasn't happened yet. It will be January 13th and the 14th. So that's some upcoming coverage. I'm also probably going to go to CES. Believe it or not, they have space tech and, space stuff as one of their segments. This is the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. And space is actually a pretty big sector there. So thank you so much, Pete, for the $10 super chat. He says, sneak this one in quickly. Great show, Ellie. I really do appreciate all of you guys watching. And you enjoy my reporting. That means a lot to me. So I will keep post my PP address. Is this PayPal? I'll put my email in. This is my PayPal, I guess, if you're curious. But I do appreciate that. Crazy to me that Christmas is in less than a week. What? I mean, this has just been such a crazy year. Michael wants to know, do I use StreamYard? I'm using StreamYard right now. I love StreamYard. It's been very helpful. And it is great. One of the things that's great about it is right now I'm live on YouTube, I'm live on Twitch, and I'm live on X, formerly known as Twitter. So I can multi-stream, I can pop up different comments. It's all me behind the scenes here, directing and producing the show. But I think I am getting better at it. So that's good. But yes, you guys like my casual streams. So I'm trying to do more of these. And yeah, I should say PayPal. PP is too suggestive. It is. But yeah, StreamYard, pretty reliable. And I recently removed the watermarks because you have to pay for the pro plan. And for the longest time, I had the watermarks. So yes, I'm paying more for StreamYard now because I think it looks better for you. Anyway, I appreciate you guys who ordered my t-shirts. Those are shipping out today and tomorrow. And I will see you guys soon. Wow, if I had a great granddaughter, I'd want her to be just like Ellie. That is quite a compliment. Thank you guys so much. And I will see you later today for the space news update. And then I'll see you tomorrow too for another space update. So have a great rest of your day.